dear candidates for the rector's position, colleagues, we promised to be very punctual with the start of today's event because there are quite some who have joined us online. And today's event does not need an additional introduction because the candidates are very well known, the current rector, Professor Dietland, and the former president of the Academy of Sciences, Tarmo Soomere. Professor Soomere is also an academician. The format of today's event is, I believe, also known. There was a call from the university side to ask several different questions to the rector's candidates. There were quite some questions asked, which is very pleasant. And then we made a choice in order to stay within the time frame we have, 1 hour and 45 minutes for today's session. There is not so much time for lengthy debates and discussions today. We'd rather expect the candidates to answer in a concentrated way. Both of them have time, about a minute and a half to answer your questions. And then the audience who has gathered here can ask questions, as well as the people who are following us online. In order to ask questions, there are two ways to do so. The people who have joined us online, you can ask questions via YouTube, or you can ask through a Slido application. You see the QR code on the screen, and you can ask your questions. And we will put them together and ask them then. And without further ado, let's get down to our discussion today. And let us have a look at the questions that our staff members have posed to the candidates. The first question is, what is or what was the main reason why you want to be the head of our university the next 4 years? And then an additional question to the current rector, how your next mandate is going to be different from the current one. So let's start with Professor Lund. Dear university family, dear co-candidate, dear colleagues, I would like to answer the question and give you two reasons of why I opposed myself as a candidate for the rector's position. The first explanation is that we have embarked on a path. We have achieved quite some. I'm very thankful to all of our colleagues, also to the students for everything we achieved. But the job is not done yet. So many things need to be continued, and I would like to continue with the work. And the second reason is that there are very many challenges. We will get down to these as well, but the challenges, in addition to being challenging, are also very exciting to be dealt with. I'm not going to do anything very extraordinarily new. I believe that the university today has a goal. The way to this goal is not a straight one, but sometimes we need to take some turns. But I believe that with the team we have, we will manage. And I have the wish to also continue with the work we have embarked on with the quality of research and science at the university. We have also increased an interdisciplinary work between different institutions and also the structural units of our university. And also in the realm of engineering, we would like to include more external funding. Professor Sommer, please. Yes, after having worked at the university for 23 years, it was time for me to reformulate the question and not asking what the university can do for me, but instead what I can do for the university. So, dear co-candidate, dear colleagues, academic family, I'm trying to search an answer for this question, what I can do for the university, and I decided to become a candidate for the rector's position. Tallinn University of Technology has achieved quite some, and the developments have been quite remarkable in the last decades. What I remember the university being in the Soviet times is already a memory and bygone era. So the university has achieved a lot, but the visibility and the influence of the University of Technology in the Estonian society, where strategic political decisions are made, is quite weak, in my opinion. And this is a place where the university also has much room for development. Thank you very much. How do you see the situation, the state the university is in today, taking into consideration the whole package, the study work, R&D role in the society? How is the health of our university? Mr. Sommer, please. Yes, I would like to continue with the same note and say that the development of the university has been good, even excellent. Development of higher education, R&D, serving the society. All of these tasks, from all of these tasks, providing study has been on an excellent level. As far as research is concerned, colleague Tiit Land is right. I believe that we can compare ourselves with important milestones regarding the universities, but I believe that there's still quite some potential for the R&D work to be supported and promoted that has the potential to change the world. And I believe that the third point, serving the society, about 6 years ago, analysis of Estonia's research and innovation system was carried out, saying that serving the society is a goal which has not been achieved as such, because it's not only about earning money, but serving society is being the innovation, the engine of supporting, initiating certain processes in the society. And when we have not done this for the future of Estonia, we have not fulfilled the third point in our mission. Professor Land, please. Yes, since the end of your question was how do you consider the health of the university being, I would like to say that I would say that it's 4 points out of a 5-point scale. Some things or some aspects of our health is quite good, are quite good. At certain respects, the blood sugar of our system is a bit low. So these need to be supported and promoted. And we need to also think about how to carry on. And I believe that the challenges will take us forward. Academic offspring and new generations are important. Also, lowering dropout rates. In case of R&D, we need more high-level research being done. Also, applied research. Then intellectual property, creating new rights and taking the best advantage of the ones here, and better cooperation with enterprises. I'd say that we have plenty of challenges, but we don't have to be afraid of them, because we do have a lot of great people who are able to work on these issues. And in the last period, we also have created very good basis for the leap of development. We have focused on quality and not so much on quantity. We have been, as I said, increasingly interdisciplinary in our cooperation at the university, and we have the world's best students who build the world's best and most resilient student formula. So these are the good sides we have. Thank you very much. How do you see as the biggest challenge for the university in the next 4 years, and how do you plan to tackle it? And please, Professor Land, you would go first. Yes, thank you very much. As I already noted before, the biggest challenge for me for the next 4 years is to supporting and creating an Estonian language offspring in academia. And I believe that this is a very complex issue. We cannot just adapt one or two measures in order to do so. It is also a question about our academic career model, its different steps, valuing the different steps and making it more attractive. Of course, academicians' work usually starts with PhD studies, but we should also focus in the stages before PhD studies. My call has always been that professors would also be visible in the lecture halls of the BA students so that they would see them and experience the teaching. And also supervisors, especially PhD supervisors, training should be included and increased. We have also increased the salaries of the junior research fellows, which will help. Then we also have a position of junior professor. 3 years ago, it started. Then next to tenured professorship, we also have a associate professor path. So as I said, also the PhD students and junior research fellows received a salary increase 2 years ago. We considerably increased also the wages of academic staff members who carry out teaching work. And the Rector's Council's website statistics also shows that our academic staff's wages are more or just about 500 euros higher than in comparison with other universities in Estonia. But we also have to think about pedagogical and didactic skills that our teaching staff needs to acquire. Yes, as the moderator, today's session is not a debate, but asking and answering questions. But in case you have some comments to the answers of your colleague, please, you're also welcome to debate between yourselves. But now, Professor Sommer, please. The biggest challenge of the university is to define its priorities in the ever-changing world, because the situation and the conditions have changed considerably in the past decades. Because when decades ago we knew what the aims and goals should be in order to have a better life, then we have come closer to the goals, yes, but at this point in time, we don't know where to set the goals in order to improve the situation furthermore. In the world, the trustworthiness of people with academic background and researchers is not a question, but just the fact that their influence is getting less and less. We see it in the world, and we also see it in Estonia. Tallinn University of Technology is not as influential and visible as it should be, considering the potential, human resources, quality of research, and everything we have created here. In order to get this visibility and influence, this should be the biggest challenge the university has. Thank you very much. The next question is, what is the university's longer-term strategy for growth, and which areas and activities should be added or lost, grown, or shrunk? Professor Sommer, please. The university is acting in its context in today's world, and universities' activities are dependent also on, among other things, on demographic processes. Today, we still see the increase of students and candidates, and this means that we need to equip ourselves to this growth. But in the next 10 years, we also have to consider that there's a drastic reduction in the number of candidates and students. And how are we going to adapt ourselves to this, keeping and retaining the quality of teaching as well as research? And this is something we need to deal with. Now, talking about directions, which seem even a bit controversial at first sight, that we need to deal with. One is AI. AI has come to stay. It needs to be smarter than human beings. Otherwise, there was no potential to develop it at all. But the increasing revolution of AI also means that people who have manual skills in the society will increase because AI figures something out, and people can put it into practice when they have good skill set, but also good manual skills and craft skills. And this is why we are at a good place. The university needs to develop its engineering domain. Professor Dietland, please. Yes, I would like to start with saying that our strategy has been to put our cards on quality and also interdisciplinary collaboration within the university. We have not focused on quantity, considering also broadening our scope and increasing new ways of study. As Professor Somra quite rightly said, 18 to 24 years old, we see that 18% of increase, that is 10,000 young people, will additionally come to the university. I see that this increase and this growth should be focused at engineering and IT domains, because the expectation from the society side is the highest there. And Engineering Academy, which is a consortia, not only our university, but to increase the number of places. But I see also that within the university, the number of engineering students should be increased the way it has been done in the last years. Now, increasing, growing, making a domain to grow or shrunk them, I don't see that it is a way to go ahead, because our biggest strengths are all our domains, but we need to empower everyone to collaborate more in science study work, as well as in entrepreneurship. Thank you very much. I would like to ask one other question, says the moderator, and thereafter I will take a question from the audience online, as well as the people present in the hall. The next question is, and I believe that you've actually partly answered it already, which areas of teaching and research should be prioritized in order to become a top European university of excellence? And do we have too many study programs, curricula, and subjects? Dietland, please. I do not believe that we have too many study programs, because in 2017, during the last reform, we reduced them to a considerable amount. Of course, these could be revised again, but definitely AI, which was also mentioned by my colleague, is one important aspect to consider. But the School of Economics just created a professorship which has economic analysis and AI included. And the new informatics curriculum is also called now Informatics and Artificial Intelligence. And we will accept new students now as of this season. AI horizontally influences us, and IT in the IT domain, it also is applied horizontally. Of course, the programs and the curricula should be revised and reformed to have a look at whether everything in there is still needed and relevant. But thinking about our research strands, I believe definitely that the formula for our success is strong and excellent research, which also gives us an opportunity to serve society and support the development of our economy. And I believe that this is definitely University of Technology of Excellence that we will be serving then. Professor Sommer, please. Yes, with the study programs and research areas, they have also a growth cycle and then a perishing cycle. In order to be excellent in something, you have to nurture those plants that grow well. There are quite some of them at the University of Technology. Where they are located exactly, if you focus at who has been elected as members of Academy of Sciences or Youth Academy of Sciences, these are our strongest plants that we have to also nurture perhaps more than others. Now, curriculum reform is something that we should not get too excited about. I came from Indiana a couple of weeks ago from the University of Indiana in the States. And in there, the principle is applied that whatever the name of the study program is, they need to teach the students what the students need to learn. And this is a very nice approach because it develops the academic staff as well as the students. Concentrating on the numbers actually means a waste of energy and time. Thank you very much, says the moderator. And now is the time for our audience in the hall to share their ideas or ask the questions. And please do use the microphone so that everybody would be able to hear, also the ones who have joined us online. My name is Väinö Rajanko. At the end of 1960s, Estonia faced a very serious problem, the Russian language, and the Language Act was adopted. I followed these developments at that time. I would like to ask, what role will the English language play at the University of Technology in the future? As Professor Land said, Estonian language PhD studies will be focused at, but I mean language issue in the broader sense. Who would like to go first? Martin Heidegger was convinced that a person can be educated and able to think when they know at least two languages on a higher level. Retaining the Estonian medium study and research is an imperative for the University of Technology, but this can always be done only when also being skillful in other languages. Ditland, yes, when you ask what the future will look like, the number of our foreign students have decreased considerably. Less than 10% of our students. Before COVID pandemic, it was 16% of our students. Now it's 10 and less percentages. Even if we consider our candidates, it's been even lower. The aim of internationalization is to also provide a good level of study, to have broader horizons, and not only to be Estonian medium. But we need to get between 5 to 10% share of foreign students. Programs will be taught in the Estonian language, engineering subjects in particular. But when going to the MA level and PhD level, then in case of MA level, especially in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and entrepreneurs, we should also get to the phase where there is an understanding that the foreign students who come here to study here for our MA should be able to stay here, should work for our labor market and also learn the language. Because we would like these people to come and stay. Take a look at the skills reports, OSCA. When we take a look at what the deficit of our professionals are in certain domains, we cannot provide all this shortcomings and compensate it with our own Estonian graduates. But of course, Estonian language at the University of Technology will not disappear. One question from here, from my side, and then we'll take a look at what our audience online has asked. So one of our biggest concerns is dropout. How can we support students to stay committed to their studies? Mr. Soomere, please. There are no easy solutions because since majority of our students need to also work starting from their first year of studies, it is almost impossible to share their time and attention and complete everything successfully. So it is understandable. And one very important supporting factor could be a broad-based scholarship system. It seems that there are no means at the moment to be applied, but we need to apply pressure there. But one more aspect considering the Estonian medium university and how to retain it. When we accept foreign students to our PhD studies, we should do it the way Germany does with Alexander von Humboldt's scholarships. They have a possibility to learn the German language on an intensive basis during 2 weeks or 4 weeks. And after this very intensive study, 8 hours a day, these people orient very well and see and understand what the society is like and the language is like, and they are more prone to stay. And the same could be applied here. Dietland continues and says that I understand this idea very well, and I actually also experienced this in Sweden as well. I didn't have this dilemma or I wasn't forced to do so, but I was interested in studying the Swedish language myself, and I went to the language course Swedish for expats, and it took me 5 months in order to be able to understand, read a bit of papers and so on. But this needs to be, of course, supported by the state as well. Dropout rate is definitely one of our big challenges as well. I also named it beforehand as well. And of course, the biggest obstacle is that our students also work. What we could do is increase the number of scholarships, apply pressure also for the Ministry of Education to reintroduce scholarships, because performance-based scholarships were made void this year in general. But we at the university discussed and decided to compensate for it. We also collect our own scholarships. Our development fund has been quite successful. We have raised funds, more than €500,000 a year. So this is considerable amount. Also, there are foundations for engineering or some other specific domains, but the students who are lagging behind could also be more up to going and meeting the professors. Also, people who are more advanced could give advice to their peers. And the university should also provide more social and psychological support to our students. And I'm very happy to say that our student representation has also raised the mental health topic. And my special thanks goes to Karolina Rebas, who has been an engine of this topic in the council. And one more thing, which I recalled, the forms of study could also be more flexible. As we know, in our MA studies, we have a block study so that the students work during daytime and they can study in the evenings and in the weekends. But this, of course, applies pressure to our staff members who need to teach at these times and also provide support for them. One question from the online audience. It seems that the university is split or fragmented a little bit. How do you provide for the balanced development in the future? Professor Land, please. This is actually a very sad question, and that the university family is split, and we have to think about what causes this fragmentation. I believe that one of the aspects could be that in the last years we've had a shortcoming of finances. So different domains and different schools, institute might feel that they are forgotten. But I believe that university as a whole, just sensing our organization and our culture, if we think about what the University of Technology is, then on the background of being split, some people have also voiced opinions that we should give up certain domains and not teach and research them. I believe that actually all the fields we have here in our university, they form our strong backbone, and it's important to bring people together. And the key to this is collaboration between different research groups in our institutes and departments, and between different people. And a good example here is multidisciplinary centers created about a year ago. So when different people come together, I believe that this definitely helps to avoid the fragmentation. And people will also see that it's nicer to work together. And I believe that the results are better as well, considering what difficult issues we have to solve here in today's world. Professor Sommer, please. In the active development phase, it is also understandable that human resources and financial means are directed to certain areas rather than not. And it is also understandable that the places which have not been supported so well or have not received this financial additional funding are a bit disappointed. And I would call this a temporary polarization. And this is an inevitable part of rapid development. What helps against it? Usually explanations and understanding that the next time round, the more polarized group will get the financial additional support, but they would need to also understand what their use is in the broader sense of the term, not only being useful in case of doing research and teaching, but very often staff or groups of staffs are kept together by people who have good energy, who sometimes say a good word and smile and tie the people together. So we need to focus on looking for these people and bringing them to the limelight more. Next question. What are the next steps you need to do or you planning to do in order to increase the visibility of engineering at the university? Professor Soomere, yes, 40% of the university share is formed by engineering in several categories at one point, but at the same time in the university council and the senate there is the role and share is the same as in comparison with other domain. A big engineering domain 10 years ago was our conscious decision in order to overcome problems and have this rapid paced development. But times have moved on, and for the engineering department, my advice is to think through whether it is sustainable to continue the same way. Because in case of a big system, you can also have savings in certain or quite some places. But we see that we have three, perhaps diverse strands of development, and we should actually also maybe propose to divide the school into three. Professor Lund, please. I believe that when we take a look at the numbers, then School of Engineering, there are 3,300 students. And when we compare it with IT, 2,500, and School of Economics, even less. Of course, we need to take a look at these numbers when planning a structural change and not to disrupt the competitiveness of the School of Engineering. We also need to ask for ideas and input from within the School of Engineering. I don't support the top-down reforms and structural changes, but the broader question of how to empower the engineering study and research, there are a couple of options. Engineering study and research. As we know, teaching engineers is expensive, perhaps even more expensive per student than in comparison with other fields. We have to think about how to amplify our resources, finances. Also from the state side, when we want to have a strong university of technology, the state needs to invest. When we think about activities support, then activities support for per student of the University of Technology is a bit higher than at the University of Tartu, for instance. So in case of this more expensive study, we need to also increase external investment using also specialty organizations and private persons as well as entrepreneurs in addition to the Estonian state. And the foundation for engineering studies is definitely one very important aspect. So there are different opportunities to combine. Thank you very much. And the moderator asks, how, in your view, the university could be more visible in expert role in political decision-making processes? Professor Lund, please. I would now like to base my answer on what we've done a bit. We have created a Trialog. It is a portal. Its influence and visibility has increased. We measure it, so we know that it is more visible, considering the metrics. And in Trialog side, there are researchers, private entrepreneurs, and public sector. Including the politicians. So we have spokespersons in case of different topics. So we need to emphasize them even more and bring them to the focus. Our professors also speak in a louder voice. Jarek Kornitsky, speaking about Center of Excellence, he is a well demanded spokesperson for everything concerning energy efficiency. Ain Gisel, for instance, Riina Aav, very many great, excellent people and researchers we have, and we need to even bring more people to the table. Some are even perhaps overexploited in a good sense, but there are many more experts. We need to find them, and I believe that the focus centers to focus on we've created. It's a very good good initiative. What does Mr. Sommer think about this? Yes, Dietland mentioned some names that have taken up the role which the society expects from the university. What the society expects from us is that the debates in the society would be led by people that are the smartest in one or the other field. Just publishing an opinion article or being in a panel of a larger debate is not enough. We need to initiate debates, even in the more complicated areas. And there are two sides to it. One of them is the society. What does it mean in a certain domain? And the second bonus also is that people who have the capacity, who are skilled at public speaking, have the social nerve as well as excellent knowledge, would be set on the podium. And the university needs to unconditionally hold the back or being behind these people, even when the media could attack them. So this support, I believe, has not been provided by the university until now. And also the political decision-making landscape we have left for the other universities, but that's a completely separate topic. The moderator says, I will ask another question, and then people from the audience can ask if you have some ideas. You both emphasize that a university of technology has a key role in serving the society. How can we increase the university's contribution to the society in addition to research and teaching work? This can only be measured through economic development and competitiveness of the state. How the university's input or contribution is to Estonian economy, it's almost impossible to measure, but some of these indicators could be also some quite useful. What has not been fulfilled, or the role which has not been fulfilled, is being an engine of societal debate. Of course, applied research contracts are very well. Also knowledge transfer, technology transfer, also useful. But in the modern days, it is not enough, because the smartest and the brightest and the most experienced people have gathered to universities, and they need to be more visible in the society. And no one can do it better, increase their visibility than they themselves. Titlan, please. I would still say that according to different opinions, we can also evaluate how much the university has contributed to our society. About 7 to 8 years ago, the Rector's Council ordered research about whether higher education is an investment or a waste of money. And €1 put in the universities and academic education brings back about €10. So it's definitely an investment. But I can say, yes, 90% of our contribution to the Estonian society comes from our graduates, our alumni. I also hope that in the next period or mandate, we also discuss what does contribution to the society mean in more particular terms. I see also that there is an expectation that the University of Technology contributes through our research results, also applied research results. They need to get outside of this campus and need to be used as promoter and engine of our economic growth and development. And I would like to emphasize that our contribution to society will in the future be more through knowledge transfer, technology transfer, and through creation of enterprises also in our own buildings and intellectual property, which takes us to a more advanced technology and entrepreneurship in the future. Thank you very much. Any questions from the audience? Yes, I do have a question to both of the candidates. I hear a lot about academic teaching staff needing to do many things. I wanted to ask whether the university has enough resources for and finances for academic staff members to develop through a decent career path. Yes, I would like to say go first, says Professor Land. It is a very justified question. But the career model is something we have created ourselves, which means that we also need to make sure that our teaching staff will be able to follow the career model. Having a look at the matrix of the model, where we have 10 different stages of our careers, starting from PhD students and junior research fellows to professors and tenured professors. We have 10 activities, and we need to concentrate on all academic staff being able to concentrate on the activities which are relevant for their academic career matrix. And this also maybe has a bit to do with bureaucracy, the work that our academic staff needs to do, be it reporting or some other bureaucratic activities. This is an important issue. What the university has done, creating a professional support structure. Our administrative and support structure needs to be professional and supportive in all situations. And we should think how to support rather than it's not possible to support. Reducing red tape. Reducing red tape is definitely increasingly possible in the times of AI. Professor Soere. So we have not actually said today what the university staff member, academic family member does for the society also needs to be reflected in their evaluation in the university. And this is something the European Commission now struggles with also when speaking about giving research advice, and this advice and counseling and contribution needs to be also reflected in their CV. This definitely needs to be solved, as well as how do we inspire and acknowledge the people also financially who contribute to the development of the society and economy supported by the university, but also when doing it outside the university. And one of these options could be tenure ship when tenured colleagues could work at the Estonian parliament, for instance, for 4 years and then return to the university, getting back also the research group. I believe this could be one option. And for these purposes, we should have finances. And I don't believe that it's very complicated to elaborate such a system, but it is very necessary. Otherwise, we just overburden our teaching staff members. Thank you very much, says the moderator, and we also have questions online. And I will continue with them as well. But now I'd like to ask, what is your vision for the use of artificial intelligence at the university and how it will affect the way the university operates in the coming years? Should the university have an AI strategy, and what could be the plan for its implementation? Professor Soomere. Yes, on Facebook, I believe I noticed that since our young medical doctors are studying with the help of AI, you should not get ill in the future because they don't know how to treat you. We should not let this happen with our civil engineering and roads and such. AI has come to stay. And usually, in case of such tendencies, we over emphasize and evaluate their short-term influence and under-emphasize and undervalue their long-term influence. It's impossible to say now what the final impact will be, but and we should not even create strategies in this field because it gets old faster than we put it on paper. We should run value-based policies, and our university has well-established values, the bearing and sustaining of which is possible also in the times of AI. Thank you very much. Professor Lund, please. The end of the question, I believe, was whether we should have an AI strategy at the university. Yes, perhaps not a strategy in the traditional sense, because when we have a strategy, we have to ask what the action plan is for the strategy. Today, we have initiated being pushed by the deans of the School of IT and Economy, putting down a roadmap of what we want to do, what we need to do. It also considered is applied to all the domains we have, research, teaching, as well as support activities. So we do have a blueprint of this roadmap. On the rector's In the rector's office, we have, led by Gert Järven, Dean of School of IT, working group. When I also named the focus Centers of Excellence, Center for Excellence of AI was one of them, which was created in order to promote the role of AI in research. But now we need to focus more on how AI is used in teaching and study work. And the rector's office also has broad-based working group which focuses on issues with AI to teaching and study work. Gert Järven also gave us an overview this morning that in the beginning of next academic year, this fall, we are collecting data about our teaching staff who use AI in their teaching work. And definitely young people who use it are already here with us at the university. And another question is, how do you evaluate the work of focus areas of excellence and whether they have supported interdisciplinary cooperation between different units? Professor Lund, please. I have talked so much about these focus areas, so I do evaluate their activity. Because in the meetings of the rector's office, where our structural unit heads, led by Professor Erik Pura, come together in every 3 months or so. And the focus centers of excellence also give an overview of their activities. Within the past year, we have moved on, no question about it. Some have moved on faster. Einar Gisel, who is dealing with energy center of excellence. This work was already there. A month ago, they organized a seminar for our decision makers in the energy field. It was perhaps lower scale event in order to limit the number of people in the group, but also circular economy. Center of Excellence has been created as a result of our former work. So we see that these centers are quite active. And last summer, when we met the international colleagues, Eindhoven and Munich, Aalto universities, rectors or ex-rectors are in this council that we met with. And they emphasize that interdisciplinarity and multidisciplinarity is very important keywords, are very important keywords, but they also emphasize that it takes 10 years to support these centers of excellence and 50% of them survive. So we have started now, and in 5 years' time, we can have a look at the advancements in this respect. Professor Somere, the modern science is developed by crazy ideas and interdisciplinary approaches, and thus the 2017 strategy, the aim of which, or one of the aims of which, was to support interdisciplinary support measures. Actually created more walls between the different colleagues than it was the other way around, and thus the Centers of Excellence is a very good initiative as far as interdisciplinarity goes. And 1 year is actually a very short time. 1-year-old child cannot even speak yet. Thank you very much. Are there plans to harmonize the academic career arrangements at the Estonian universities to avoid a situation where a senior lecturer at one university is an associate professor at another with the benefits, respective benefits? Professor Somere, this is actually a broader question to all universities and also to the Rector's Council. And, it's broad sense. Estonian universities should not compete with each other. Our competitors are elsewhere, perhaps in the Nordic countries a bit, and some in the United States. And the idea that we are actually peers and colleagues and should are on the same path, it does not fly well or hasn't flown well. But we need to have different approaches than just bureaucratic ones. Professor Land, yes, I would like to say that we have planned it, but the plan is quite complicated, as Professor Somere also referred. It's mostly focused on the Rector's Council, which we did make we made it 5 years ago, when Tallinn University of Technology had first created a tenure-based career path. University of Tartu and also University of Life Sciences, they were still reflecting on what they could do. When we now make a new attempt 5 years later, have a look at where we are. During the next mandate, should I get the next mandate, I will take this issue to the Rector's Council as well. But if we zoom in on the situation now, the University of Technology and the University of Tartu have very different paths. University of Tartu does not have a tenured professorship path, and they have associate professors, full professors, and in the first two paths, study and research is done on different paths, and as of the third level, they are done together, which also means that all sides need to compromise. I do not know how to maybe harmonize it completely, but bringing them closer to each other. And of course, the next question is that when there are 97 professors and tenured professors and about 50-50, we speak about full professors and associate professors. Then at the University of Tartu, there are about 500 professors and also senior research fellows and senior lecturers. The question is whether it's a structure which is reasonable, because it might devalue professor status a little bit. So quite some questions here. Moderator asks whether the heads of administrative and support units should have also fixed contracts with a certain mandate. You mean employment contracts with fixed dates? Okay. I do not believe so. I don't know if it's possible at all, says Professor Lund. Comments without microphone. Yes, I'm not sure if it's possible. I would not also the idea that the head support unit could be employed on a fixed term contract. I believe that we do have very many heads of support structures who are well known and established and do great work, and also reduce motivation. And, our employment law does not allow it at the moment. Then we should look for a way around it. But I understand that the question is asked in a sense that to bring new blood into the system, administrative structures and support staff should actually have a better system in comparison with the one now, and not the other way around. Professor Somara, in the academic landscape, it is important to push academic researchers and professors to continue and motivate, and not to again fragment or split people who work in support structures. They actually have a much broader labor market ahead of them, considering the skills than academic staff has. And fixed term contracts, I believe, would erode functioning of the university, and we put extra pressure on people that they need to somehow prove themselves again in every 5 years, at the same time when their work-related tasks have not changed. And when this is demanded by Estonian labor law, it needs to be amended. Thank you very much. One more question from our online audience. What are the concrete measures you're going to apply in order to reduce red tape and make administrative processes at the university more efficient? Professor Somere, yes, I believe this is a question to our current management, but I have a different view based on a small lab where there's more self-service. Also, heads of units have self-service, be it information systems for leave applications, financial web, etc. This has reduced my workload per several hours a week. So in that sense, the university has done a very great job that the units heads have more free space and free hands for other tasks. Of course, perhaps the financial statutes of the university has been perhaps formulated in a way that it's not easily workable. And being a mathematician, I know how formulas work and how they actually counteract with each other at later stages. So perhaps maybe more emphasis on decision making from that respect. And it's a part of my manifesto I wanted to say as well. And one other thing, even annual reports have been made very easy pre-filled, and you need to write 200 characters, words. It's very easy to use all these systems. Thank you very much, says Professor Lund. I believe that Professor Sommer already spoke also on my behalf, saying that reducing bureaucracy definitely has been our focus, and more automatization is important hereby. Less paperwork. We have less and less paperwork already, but just automating several things. I said before that AI will do most for us. It was meant as a joke, but I do believe that AI in the future will help us increasingly more. So putting together minutes and reports and doing all these things. In case of bureaucracy, we can speak at length about it, but since red tape has a tendency to produce itself and increase, and we need to think about perhaps to reduce it in one in, one out principle, or maybe creating such a brainstorming session with the support structure, thinking about what tasks are not going to be fulfilled anymore, or what is reasonable to perhaps abandon and what to take over, using IT solutions, including also AI. Thank you very much, says the moderator. And after our next question, I believe that we shall also give our audience a possibility to ask. But now, what would you do better or differently or more in order to support and retain the physical and mental health of our staff members? Professor Lund, please. I would like to start with the physical health first. I believe that we will continue the same way with our staff members' physical health. We have supported movement and sports and trainings, and I believe that the volumes of this support has been increased. I believe that restarting the Rector's Cup has been also a very good step on that path, because it has been increasingly popular not only among our students but also our staff. And the 10-kilometer run will be held on May 15th, which is also very popular. So I believe that supporting our physical health, we will continue the same way we have, and not to overdo it, because not everybody needs to run a marathon, because otherwise everybody will compete with themselves and perhaps harm themselves more than it's good. But mental health is, of course, another side of the coin. We should ask here whether we've done enough. I believe that the answer is no, we have not. As I said, also, in order to reduce students' dropout, we need to have more psychological counseling. This also applies to our staff members. The burnout of our staff members is a serious issue. The question is how to recognize it, not to, in order to avoid the avalanche. We need to increase the number of psychologists. And we have actually looked for additional psychologists and counselors, but it's complicated to find such people. But this is definitely a topic which should be in the focus of our activities, because the biggest value we have is our people, and we need to take care of them. Thank you very much. I believe that in one domain, Ditland said all is possible to say, and I would be all ears listening to what could be done, because my lifestyle has been for decades already self-destroying, and my opinion about how to retain people's mental health and physical health is not competitive in this context at all. Thank you very much. Any questions from the audience? Arvo Mere, a physicist. I would like to ask the following. Lately, a lot of talk has been about how engineering studies are at the lowest point. And me, as a physicist, I could say that the curricula is not on a good level anymore. The volume of physics as such has been reduced, and the courses have been reformulated in a way that physics is not no longer taught on the same level, and the same applies to the teaching of mathematics, which has been left aside at our university. And we do accept the students with the broad-based math exam. It also shows us that this broad basis does not enable us to teach in-depth aspects of math on a level that is necessary to these students. We don't have these things in the curriculum anymore. So I would actually get rid of all the courses in the curriculum where it says introduction to this and that. It should not be there. No introduction should be there because we are speaking about the domain and the course as such. So I would like to ask whether you retain and restore a teaching of math and physics in our curricula or not. Who would like to go first? Professor Somere says that yes and no questions are always very engaging, but and interesting. But life has also shown us that usually people who take part in these debates don't answer the questions which are asked. So I would say that one aspect which is important but not very popular is the systematic lessening of the quality in our population. And then the second one is the need to retain the level of higher education that we have and educate about half of the population on this level. Because we see in the secondary schools that in comparison with older days, the secondary education lasts 1 year longer in the Estonian medium schools and 2 years longer in the Russian medium schools. And this, for me, also shows that a higher education, for instance, BA studies also need to be increased in volume and time. So BA studies 4 years. So the answer to your question is yes, but the question how the university can sustain it with teaching staff and our lecture halls and such is another question. Didland. You started with the engineering curricula and perhaps referred that they are not on the level that it should be. I believe that the answer is yes. The question is how should we do it? Solution from my side is that we need to take the competence which we have in different departments and institutes. For instance, Department of Cybernetics with curriculum in maths we don't have. We have physics and applied physics, but we are able to teach these things. The question is how to do it in practice. An institute with this competence, Institute of Cybernetics, should contribute more to. Thank you very much. some questions that I have here in front of us, and then one from the audience, and one from online. But we see that our students are not very active in studying abroad, but it is one of the aspects of based on which we are assessed and receive funding. So the numbers are low. How can we tackle the student mobility problem? Yes, says Professor Lund, the numbers are low, and I believe that's about 100 students is the magnitude of our students being in mobility programs abroad. And one important aspect here is also our activity support. It depends on student mobility, and other universities are more successful in that respect. But the reasons are the same. Also, that we spoke about when speaking about the drop out rate. Our students are active in the labor market at the same time when studying, and this does not support mobility or leaving the country. Also, the students that do go study abroad, we need to take more advantage of them in a positive sense. Also, with the students' representation, we have had some evenings sessions where students gather, and they come to talk about what they have seen elsewhere and what they've experienced in order to share this experience and promote it. So there's no one magic bullet, but when joining the Eurotech network, we our aim was to have 25% of the students to go for exchange, even if it's virtual. We have more students coming in that are coming here through student mobility, so the international experience is there. But in our students' homes, but we all have to be more active to promote this. But yes, the numbers are low. You are right. It seems that a personal conversation is not also influencing. Dietland's CV shows that well, he went to a foreign country for 3 months and stayed for 6 years. And my experience shows the same. But you cannot force young people. Young people are very smart in the sense that the world is open for them, and they do not want to live their lives the way we used to in our days. We also have an elephant in the room in this context. 300 to 400 best graduates of our secondary schools go to bachelor studies in foreign countries, and we do not almost have any connection to them. Speaking about the cost and benefit, we need to know who these people are, be in contact with them, provide them a place to return, because they start returning after graduating from BA or MA studies. They do not have a place to come then, because their places have been occupied already then by the locals. And I believe that 100, we speak about, in our context, we speak about 100 people every year, and this is manageable amount, I believe. Thank you very much. In a deteriorating security situation, how should the university move forward with the crisis preparedness for the university, family, and the campus? Would you consider reintroducing military studies at the University of Technology, such as drone flight training and control, military robot control, etc.? Professor Soomere, these domains are also protected by confidentiality clauses and state secret, so we cannot directly speak about these things. But it is clear that civil protection measures and trainings needs to be returned and restored. And it's not because we are directly afraid of war or armed conflict, but because people are anxious and worried, and restoring these things already give them a better sense of security. It is important to do these things, but not through creating new curricula, but rather providing additional teaching in micro degree programs or something that the Defense League considers necessary. But too much initiative in this respect from our side is not needed. Professor Land. I can confirm that the University of Technology works very clear crisis plans. And, I don't want to frighten anybody, but until what happens with the campus and how, in case of a real physical attack, I do not support military training as such here in our context. I went through it in the Soviet times, and it did not really give me much besides being completely demotivating. So I do support rather collaboration. Also, our staff and students being a part of a defense league. And Estonia's defense forces. And I also see Defense League colleagues here in the hall. And we could also think about perhaps creating certain courses considering the preparedness, crisis preparedness. And 2 weeks ago, we created a security and safety technologies center, and it also concerns the technologies which were mentioned in the question. Now, one question from a colleague online. The support structure staff salaries were not changed this year. What's your attitude to support structures? Are you planning to cut the support structures, and how to support the support structure staff's professional development to provide for the good quality of these services and retain the people? Professor Tiit Land. Yes, first of all, I would like to explain that not increasing the salaries of support staff. The budget of support activities did not increase for this year in comparison with last year. Last year it was the case. But the general fund, it was a political decision that the academic staff members should be supported more, increasing their salaries as well. This is what I referred to already. And in case of support structure, the idea was not to increase the salary, but the heads of unit could have done it according to their means, and I understand that this is a capability in the units to increase the support staff wages. So we made a strategic decision to put our emphasis on the academic staff now, but it does not mean that our support structure should be valued less. And I believe that the statistics also show that the wage increase has been there. Now, the second part of your question, how to, or whether we are planning to cut the support structures, the answer is no, but the expectation, of course, is to be more productive and efficient. And I believe that some posts are being created and some become void. I believe that this is quite a natural cycle. And we are one university family. We value these people the same way we do with our academic staff. So this is a question for the organizational culture, which we need to deal with on daily basis. But again, our strength is a combination between support staff and academic staff. Yes, thank you very much. It says Professor Soomere, and since Didland was referring to statistics, which is like conscious lies and big lies and the biggest lies, as it's being said, and the slogan is very easy: excellent science and good research needs professional support. It does not function otherwise, and professional support is expensive. Thank you very much. Questions from the audience? Academician Kornetsky, please. Tarmo Soomere used a very good slogan here, but being more serious, I would like to come to the question of the admissions that we are going to see. Now, this season and the next years, we should increase the number of admitted students by 1,700 at least. And I believe that it's now time, considering also the number, the peak number of the graduates of secondary schools. But as it was said, quite some of the brightest heads also go to study elsewhere in universities in the foreign countries. What are the opportunities? What can we do? And what is our message in order to be able to increase the number of our students? And I believe that we have this golden era lasting at least for 3 years, that we have increased numbers of potential admissions. How do we get to these people? And this is the key to our success in the future. How are we able to do it? And in the long run, also, it is important for the success for our society and economic development. When we are able to well train these people, even when demographically there are less good times, they can take care of us and work. So what are the promises that we can give out in order to do this? Professor Soomere, please. On a short time scale, to do something more than has been done is not easy to imagine. Social media campaigns and other things that we have done. I believe that the students that you mentioned, we will most likely get here anyways. But the problem is when demographics will turn and the population numbers go down, then there are no other possibilities than reinitiating teacher training at the university, because teachers at secondary schools are the ones who advise young people to go and where to go to study. And Tallinn University of Technology does not have these teachers. We don't train them. And how to change it is the next question, I believe. So very narrow specialization in certain courses, and we do know how to give the best level engineering knowledge. Is engineering media, which was mentioned, very active indeed, but it does not also only concern us, but also applied universities and even vocational schools. So we are active there in this network, and our visibility increasing as well. We also very actively collaborate with secondary schools, also basic schools. In the last years, we have been more active in this respect. So the state secondary school of Mustamäe that will have new graduates soon, and at least half of these pupils should continue as students with us. About 100 future students. Again, a question to our academic staff how they will manage. Also, half of the graduates from Pärnu secondary school, they will come to us. Our open university is very active, also working to the direction of the basic schools, and even in the primary schools, pupils we work with special focus areas and vacation camps for girls as well as boys. So they don't come to us in 5 years perspective, but in 10 years perspective. So collaboration is there and more intense. And I believe that in engineering and IT field, the unused resource have been girls. So we need to bring more girls in there, and a unicorn squad is our hope in some years' time of how many more girls we will get also to our disciplines. So we are convinced that we do get these young people come and join us, but now the next question is, of course, the mathematics knowledge and exams. Hopefully, we'll be able to also soften the blow by the demographic changes. Thank you very much. We don't have much time left. In 10 to 15 minutes time, we end our discussion, but I would like to ask what is your vision from the universities present in the region, or what is the future of our Virumaa, Kuressaare, and also Tartu College? Professor Land, please. Yes, the future is in our own hands. We need to decide of how to move on with the regional representations. And when you asked about the possible structural changes, one possible topic for deliberation could be the structural aspects of these three colleges. Today, the colleges are very different. They are in the School of Engineering today on the level of institutes, but the colleges are very different from the institutes. And when putting together our strategic plan, one of the 6 topics is the strategy of our colleges. And I myself believe that since the colleges are so much different from the other departments of engineering school, how to deduct them, how to decouple them is a question. Just transition, of course, is something in East Viru, which also increasing the volume. Tartu College and Jarek, your institution's curriculum has been tied with that as well. So question whether to decouple it is reasonable. Also, Kuressaare College is searching for its place in the structure in a different way. Also collaborating with the Estonian Marine Academy. So yet it's in our hands, and I see that also from the growth perspective. And in the context of the university, it would not be in the structure of the engineering. Professor Soomere, if you've been traveling a lot in different countries, in developing countries or Arabic countries, for instance, you see that in every 1 hour drive, you see a campus of a university or university itself. Not that this 1 hour drive would be a critical distance, but if you need to take more than 1 hour to get to the university, then young people need to move. They cannot live in their former place of residence. And that's how it is quite normal that Estonia has the centers, Narva, Virumaa, Tartu, covered with the departments of the university or colleges. Now the question is, what role will they be fulfilling? Be them they somehow providing a base to move on, or developing the region-specific knowledge and strengths, like it is in the energy field or some other fields. And in Saaremaa, the biggest island in respect of the maritime science. And Nomen est omen names give meaning. So if you take a look at what college means in the dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, you get 5 meanings. So Queen's College, that is a faculty at the university. It's applied for selected universities. And the second would be our secondary school. So study center for young people. And then the third meaning, which is a place where BA studies are carried out. So when we send people out from here with a diploma which says where they have been studying, then it is important in the labor market in the world. For instance, when we said to our Italian student that they could get a diploma with environmental engineering, they said, no, we won't come there because in Italy it means a massive corruption, and I never find a job like this. So we are definitely not a center of the universe. We act on a smaller scale. So we have to think about these things before we make certain decisions. But in principle, when we had the meeting with the School of Engineering, I advised them to think about this. But of course, this initiative and what to do, this should come from the school itself. Thank you very much. And now I would like to ask perhaps the most popular question about what is how do you compose the next rector's office, and will you be able to already say some names of who would be in your team, and whether also a co-candidate could be a part of a rector's office or the new team? What would the post be? Ditland. Well, actually, life has shown well that we should not run ahead of things and not rush into things. We have elections on the 9th of May, and experience also shows that about 50% of the rector's office remain, the deans, as well as the head of Estonian Marine Academy. And should I be elected, some vice rectors will remain. The question whether they will retain also respective domains. And really, in case I will continue. One of vice rectors will not be continuing. Henrik Voll has said himself as well that he does not want to continue on this post. So let's not rush into things. Let's debate over this after the election. I believe, says Professor Soomere, that I have 6 years more of life experience in comparison with Ditland. So let's cross the bridge once we get there, and not rush into things. Have not been elected yet, but definitely we want to be a world top level university of technology, which means that in case of vice rectors, research should be very well represented. And as you said, a lot of the deans are already there. Thank you very much. We have time for 2 or 3 questions, says the moderator. I see that we have one question from the audience. Thank you very much. And we are about to finish. But I would like to ask the last questions from the point of view, perhaps, of the students. How do you see the development of the university's sport lives, and where are we in this respect? What is your stand on the student organizations and supporting them? Professor Somere. Yes, I'm completely convinced that student life should be cool life, because the friends that you make at the university days will stay until your lifetime, and the friends that you have made here, the networks, the organizations that you are a part of, you find support until you retire. So this is definitely not a place to try to save anything. It's perhaps complicated for me to understand that student life could get more active than it is today. Uh, we have an increasing number of student organizations. I think we have 7 new organizations as of this year, and the management from the management side, the role is of course to support them. Of course, financial support is one thing. If you ask whether if we have increasing number of organizations, about 40 today, then when we have increasing number of organizations, then it means perhaps a bit less funding for everyone. But the university, of course, can be also open for its students itself. So whoever will be elected as a rector, I believe that the tradition stays. That's on 24th of March, on the traditional day of the university students, we go as well. Whoever is elected as a rector now, and we also go to the summer and winter games. So it's complicated to say what to increase. Students themselves are quite active, and our role as a management is to accept it. When we spoke about sports events, we just have to carry on and then continue with it. Thank you very much. And with this positive note, we are about to conclude. We have received very many questions. I believe that we could discuss this for several days. And I also believe that this is not the last opportunity to ask questions from the rector candidates. As I've understood, you also meet with colleagues in different schools. And different stakeholders will meet the rector candidates within the next month. So please do take advantage of this opportunity and the window of time. Thank you very much for coming, and that's the end of our discussion. Thank you.